What is up, everybody? Welcome into episode 59 of the Brahma Bullpen, coming to you from the cow pasture on behalf of United Football Media. And as you can tell, I got producer coming to you from the horse barn. What's up, producer? How you doing today?
Doing great.
Awesome.
Happy
Awesome.
to join.
Good. We're gonna have a great episode for you guys today. It is the ranking season, as we like to call it. So last week we've already ranked stadiums. Last week we did coaches. What's the next step? This week we're going to do quarterbacks. So we're going to do some quarterback ranking for you, and then we're going to have our top 8 list there at the bottom. But before we get in that, we're going to do a little roster update, do a little league news, and maybe do a little bit of gossip, a little league drama talk. You cool with that, producer? You ready for some league drama?
Sounds good. There's been plenty of it.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, since we are the Brahma Bullpen, we do specifically cover the Brahmas for the United Football Media. We'll always start with those options first and that news first. So big news, producer, big news. The Brahmas have signed none other than Greedy Williams out of LSU. We're talking one of the 2019's top draft picks. Guy runs like a 4.2. He is an NFL talent coming down to the UFL to get some reps in. Uh, just a complete upgrade on our already number one defense. And to be honest with you, man, him and Darius Phillips, there on either side of the field, Bo Peep Keys and Kalen Barnes. I mean, we got some studs in the secondary, studs in line. Dude, I'm excited. Like I'm getting a little giddy. The number one defense just got better. What do you think about Greedy Williams?
Yeah, mad respect for LSU as far as the talent they put on the field, their defense, and
Who
what
LSU,
they've been
bro?
able to.
Hold on, dude. You just held up a Texas A&M coffee cup. Then you're gonna open it with
That
respect for
doesn't mean
LSU.
other schools don't produce good defensive talent
Unacceptable.
or talent. Period. So
That's the
hey,
best you could come up with.
I'm happy that he's joined the Brahmas. I think he'll be a good addition, and I look forward to him being on the defense. You've already said it. He makes the best defense in the league stronger. I'm just agreeing with that. So
Yeah, well, don't ever be like,
happy
I
to
got
have him.
respect for the LSU. Next thing you'll be telling me you got respect for that team that should not be mentioned out of Austin. The other thing is,
Whoa! Don't go too far now.
well, I'm just saying, dude. Every week,
Don't go too far.
every week you have mad respect for some other team other than the ones you're supposed to. This is the bullpen, bro. All right, man. Don't make me come at you right here on live on YouTube. Anyways, and before I go any further, Corey Mayfield Jr. played for UTSA, also in our secondary. Last year to end the season was probably playing the best out of all of the cornerbacks on our team last year, making clutch plays, blocking punts, returning stuff. Like it was just awesome. So you guys see the 2025 signed players there. Feel free to pause. So this is as updated as an updated roster as you can find. A lot of this is based upon signing notifications, like I showed earlier in the episode, and some of it's also based on Fox Sports. So Fox Sports evidently has been doing a pretty good job, according to other United Football Media content creators, of keeping their rosters up to date. So I went through that and threw some players on here just actually today at the day of recording this. So it's a pretty updated roster. So anyways, follow us on social. We'll bust that out. Going on to some of the news going around the league, we don't cover all the teams for the league here on the bullpen, but when something big happens, we like to at least talk about it so that the bullpen fans and the Brahma fans know what's going on. Mr. James Larson posted the official re-signing of Frank Ginda back to Michigan. And before the show started, the producer was like, well, why are we even talking about this? Okay, I'll tell you that we have the best linebacker duo in the league with Williams and with Beckett. Okay. But I will also tell you that Ginda, USFL Defensive Player of the Year, Frank Ginda, is probably the single best linebacker in the league. So it makes a good playoff team even better. He's dealt with some injuries last year, but hey, he's back. and that's nothing but good news for the league. More people are going to watch, and it's nothing but good news for Michigan. You got any thoughts on Frank Ginda?
I just think I think Michigan's going to have a good team. I think they're going to be very competitive, and he'll be a significant reason why they're competitive. He'll really contribute there. So great ad there, great signing, and looking forward to it.
Can he throw the ball though?
No, he can't, but
So
he
they're
might
gonna
be able to stop somebody on the other side.
we're gonna talk quarterbacks later in this, and we'll later in this episode, and we'll see who we think is going to be the starting quarterback for Michigan. But on to a little drama. We're gonna spend about a couple of minutes just talking drama, just the juicy stuff that goes on in the spring football world. You know, in the NFL world, you don't necessarily get drama like this because we're a niche we're niche media outlets focusing on a new league, and so sometimes you get these little things that just happen. I'm going to pop this up. So State of the Stallions, this is a tweet he put out. If you guys don't follow State of the Stallions, feel free. He does a great job covering the Stallions, and he's an all-around awesome guy. So but and he always makes sure he posts accurate information. One thing we do here on the bullpen is we try to post accurate information, and if we do post something, we definitely want to make sure we know where we're posting it from, right? So check this out. Uh, the UFL board, which is one of the probably, there's like 3 to 5 legit, what I would consider put in some effort media outlets. The United Football Media is number one, though, followed by others that are not the United Football Media. But in this case, the UFL board's kind of been around. And essentially what happened is these guys had artificial intelligence write an article. They posted it, and here's where they really messed up. Posted it without verifying that the computer wrote accurate information. Wrote that Alex Magoo, who was signed back to the Stallions, was going to be playing wide receiver. Now, it all happened because this AI article took a quote from the coach Skip Holtz from when Alex Magoo signed with the Packers to actually be a wide receiver on the practice squad, mixed it up with him signing back with the Stallions, and wrote this article that he was going to play wide receiver for the Stallions. The crazy thing is the actual multi-champion tight end, Jay Sternberger, Aggie great Jay Sternberger. Let's see, I'm wearing the anyways. It's like, hey man, that's not true. Well, I already talked to my boy Alex. He's gonna play quarterback. Then the UF board blocks him on social media, even though he's like, dude, I already talked to my guy. Then
That's crazy.
it gets even better because then this UFL board guy goes on there, finds a obscure roster on the Fox Sport News where it does actually list Alex Magoo as a wide receiver, and says, "Oh no, you guys are wrong. He is going to play wide receiver. Skip Holtz is going to play him in 2 positions, quarterback and wide receiver." Jay Sternberg's like, "Dude, I play on the team. I texted him. He's going to be playing quarterback. Everybody's reporting he's going to be playing quarterback, but the UFL board doubles down." And if that was the end of the drama, producer, what would you, like? Let's just stop right now. Tell me your thoughts on that little bit of drama we just discussed.
I think you're that. I think they're putting their neck out there, man. You got to make sure that what you provide is accurate. So, uh, right there, I mean, if you're going to back it up, you better make sure it's accurate. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, the best thing to do would be like, look, man, I used AI. I messed up. My bad. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to do the best I can. It's not like all of us don't have other things going on in our lives. These are side hustles, hobbies, kind of things for us. So we're working real life
mistakes
versus
happen, right?
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
then this is what they do. You ready for this?
All right. What happened?
They
Oh man,
posted. We did an article. We didn't properly check it. My bad. But here's the funny part. They turn up the comments. They turn up the comments where nobody could be like, "Hey, dude, it's
yeah.
it's it's X. It's social media, man. When you turn off the comments, you're basically admitting fault. And now the UFL board doesn't exist anymore. So, you know,
Never happened.
and I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. But
Just doesn't exist. Never happened.
the I will tell you that the most UFL news in the past 2 or 3 weeks has been this story. And I think the UFL should sit back and at least think about the fact that the most exciting thing that's happened on social media for the league is the stuff going on with our media groups and the fact checking and a little bit of spring football drama going back and forth. Maybe the league one day can you know pick a couple of the groups that are the most accurate, relevant, and put out the most content, i.e., United Football Media, and give us a shot, right? But anyways, anything else on drama? You
No,
good to go?
I just, we have a, if you're listening to this, we have an obligation to you. We have an obligation to people that pay attention to this channel, that listen, to give you the most accurate information possible. And that's what we make an effort to do. Of course, we want to be entertaining too. We all have our own opinions, which, that's our opinions. They vary. But as far as things that we state as facts, we want to make sure that that's correct, that it's accurate, up to date, and so anybody in this situation should present information in that way, and we want to do our best to do that. It's disappointing that that unfortunately that didn't occur in this case, but we're here to make that effort for you.
Let producer cook. Let him cook. There we go. All right, let's get into our quarterbacks. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. Well, we got random quarterbacks, random order. We're going to go through all 8 teams and who we think is going to be their starting quarterback. And then at the end, we're going to pop up our 1 through 8 rankings. Other shows on the United Football Media channel have decided to rank 10 quarterbacks, even though there's 8 teams. It's questionable what's going on there. But we'll go ahead and get right into it. So, Texas A&M great, Kellen Mond. Everyone who follows me on social media knows that I am super excited to have Kellen Mond coming to San Antonio, coming home. He's from San Antonio. Obviously played at Texas A&M. I'm super pumped he's coming down here. Total upgrade at the quarterback position. And this guy is a team guy, and he's a leader, right? He's one of the guys that will be voted captain and accountable, will show up for every practice. And if he needs to try to get 1 extra yard in a championship game to get a first down, I think he'll do it. Man, I get a little hostility there, a little left over from last
Yeah,
year.
I felt
But
that. I
yeah,
felt
did you
that.
feel it? But hey, according to PFF, his NCAA college stats, because he doesn't have any spring snaps and stats for us to share with you, so we went back to college stats. In his time there at Texas A&M, he passed the ball for over 1,370 attempts, 58.5% completion percentage, all-time leading passer in yardage for Texas A&M at 9,657 yards and over 71 touchdowns. First in passing TDs for Texas A&M as well. 2020 Senior Bowl MVP as he was going to get drafted by the Vikings, and 2019 Texas Bowl MVP. If you haven't watched my boy Webb and Brandon on the captain's log, they did their ranking, and to a T, both of them said if they had to pick one quarterback that was going to be in the NFL next year, this is the guy. Having a lot to do with the offenses that they play in and his talent. So, anyways, there's some stats for Kellen Mond. Anything stand out for you stat wise for Kellen Mond, there, producer?
Well, he's got a lot of great stats, and as you mentioned, his touchdowns. Uh, there's a lot of good things with him, and I'm really excited about seeing Kellen Mond on the Brahmas offense. Um, Along with all the positive, I will say a couple of concerns would be his completion percentage. I hope he's able to improve that a little bit, and interceptions. He's had some years at Texas A&M where he threw a good number of interceptions through in 2018 yes, 2018 he threw 9, 2019 he threw 9 again. Now in 2020, reduced that to 3 interceptions. But I think he's going to be excellent in this offense. One of the best quarterbacks in the league. So really, really looking forward to him. But if I had to pick an area of concern, those would be my concerns. But
You,
great
you
quarterback.
you know how this is supposed to work, right? We're supposed to only say good things about Brahmas players. I question your commitment to what we're
My my
doing here.
my commitment is to providing the most accurate information to the people who listen to this show.
Yeah, but are we, we should be skewing it in our favor.
Yeah, yeah,
You
I think he's going to be a great quarterback.
you
I'm looking forward to it.
you almost sound like Webb in this team jumping thing that he's got
Oh
going on.
wait, hold on now, hold on.
Don't make me
Now.
tell the story right now. I'll tell it. So you better watch
Oh
what you say.
God,
All right, moving along before I
all right.
ruin producer's night. Battlehawks, Max Dugan. Same thing. Hasn't played in spring football. Went to college stats. 1,231 attempts, 60% completion rating, 96, 9,614 yards, and 78 touchdowns. All-time career third in passing for TCU and second in touchdowns. Davey O'Brien Award, Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, and Unitas Award there in 2022. Obviously led the Horned Frogs to the College Football Championship. That didn't end well for them, but got them there, got a small school there, competed with the big boys. And with AJ McCarron not coming back, this is who we think is going to be the starter. What do you think about Max Dugan? Please do me a favor, at least share a negative stat like you did with Kellen Mond. I mean,
Once again, I mean that completion percentage floating around 60 needs to improve that a little bit. I will tell you my major concern for him is in the Big 12 defenses he faced. He's going to face a lot tougher defenses, and so there's going to be a little bit more of an adjustment period compared to somebody like Kevin Mon who faced SEC defenses. So we'll see what he does. He's got great stats. Seems to be a good quarterback, but how good of an adjustment is he going to be able to make? We're yet to see, but we'll see what he becomes.
before we go on, what is a good completion percentage for you? Since you've mentioned that you want them both to be better so far, what number are you looking for?
Um, I think between that 65, 65, 70, closer 65 would be good.
65. That's the number.
Yeah, I
So
think
could
so.
you do me a favor? I'm going to pop up the next graphic. I'm going to go through real quick. Take your phone out and Google NFL quarterbacks with a 65% completion percentage for their career, and let me know who they are. Moving on to our third quarterback on the list. I'm not joking. Start Googling it. We're going to do this on the fly right here. We're going to do some fact checking. All right. So we got the defenders. One of the big announcements for the defenders is the return of Jordan Ta'amu. You know, he struggled this last year, but I think a lot of that had to do with things outside of his control. It's number one, losing his starting running back. He had in his spring football stats. So this is a guy that has a lot of spring football experience. He's had over 1,000 attempts, 1,004 attempts, 60.7 completion percentage, 7,282 yards, and 52 touchdowns. Those are all spring football stats. And those are pretty impressive spring football stats, by the way. I think the defenders are going to be better than they were last year. I think as long as Jordan Ta'amu has a running game to help him set up that play action and not have to carry the whole team on his back, I think he can do a great job up there in DC, and I think the defenders will vastly improve. Producer, I think I bought you enough time. What did your Google search show you?
Well,
Say
maybe
it.
I think there's a number of quarterbacks that have had pretty good in that mid to high 60s NFL completion percentage from Drew Brees, Joe Burrow. Uh, there's been a number that have been up there, and so I don't think my expectations are too high. I think that mid 60s up to 70 is possible. That's just my opinion. But as far as Jordan Tiamu goes, as a pure passer, he's been decent. He's been a good quarterback. I think what his struggle is having that complement, a good running back, having somebody to really run the ball. Without that, of course, that drastically affects his impact as a quarterback. But overall, I think that he'll do really well. It just his success more depends on what complements him versus his pure talents alone. He's a proven quarterback, but let's see what's around him to give him a really solid grade for how he'll do this season.
Yeah, yeah. So you're saying that Drew Brees with a career completion percentage of 67%
There you go.
career, and that's the best all time. Okay.
I'm saying it's possible. Now, will spring football quarterbacks achieve that? Um, that's a little bit more of a taller task, but I'm saying it's possible. It's nice to see a quarterback get a little bit better passing percentage,
I mean, if you want to
completion
look at
percentage.
just
I
like
mean,
for a season, there's some quarterbacks that have been in that 70% range, but for a career, we're not talking season. It's career. I don't
okay,
know, man. I
well,
think you got a little high expectations, but we'll,
little
we'll
high
leave it at that.
expectation.
We'll leave
Okay,
it at that.
okay. Well,
All right, number
oh
four,
man, look at that. That's almost 65% right there.
409 attempts, bro. 409 attempts. Okay.
Mhm.
Of course, the number can be skewed. And 409 attempts for the best team in spring football history, with the best O line, with the best running back, with the best everything. 64.8. Everything working in his favor. Not that I'm
Okay.
taking anything away from Alex Magoo, two-time USFL champion and one-time league MVP Alex Magoo. But I'm just saying, 64.8 completion percentage, 3,191 yards, and 32 touchdowns. The guys over there on the captain's log have Alex Magoo, or Alex Brandon specifically, has Alex Magoo ranked number one as best quarterback in the league, and Corral who's probably going to be the backup there as the number three ranked quarterback in the league. I don't know if he's doing that because he's hoping that someone hears that and then they want to trade Matt Corral to the showboat so they have a chance of winning some football games or what. But I guess it's a nice problem to have Corral and a league MVP coming back. What do you think about Alex Magoo? Evidently, a 64.8 completion percentage out of 409 attempts makes him the best quarterback ever, huh?
I think if any team had the problem of having some just too many really good quarterbacks on their roster, I guess if I had to pick one, it would be the Stallions. Um, I agree that I think Alex Magoo will probably be the best quarterback in the league this
Whoa,
year.
whoa,
But
whoa, whoa, whoa! Are you giving your ranking out already?
no, no, well, hold on. I'm just saying, but to have another quarterback on the Stallions at number three, I mean that's a little bit of wishful thinking. I wouldn't go that far. Maybe he's like a closet Stallions fan with that ranking. I'm
Mm-hmm,
just
mm-hmm.
saying. But I think Alex is going to have a good season. I mean, everything he's done so far has proved he's capable of it. Skip Holtz is still there. I just don't see any reason why they don't continue to be a juggernaut.
I got you. Not to beat a dead horse, get it? Pun intended. But if you had to rank Josh Allen right now, NFL quarterback, would it be top three for you? Top two? Like where would he be? Just top five? I mean,
Oh man,
he's top one or two, right? I mean,
I haven't looked at his stats, and I
okay.
haven't watched
I'm just
watched
asking you
Buffalo games all year. But just off the top of my head, if I had to ballpark it,
top
I
five.
mean, absolute top five. I would probably put him. I'm not sure on that. Definitely top 5. I can't
Career
speak. He would
career
not be
career
number 1.
completion career completion percentage
Okay.
63.3%. All right.
Still over 60.
S-
Oh
You
man,
said you
look at
said you
that.
wanted
Look at that.
65. Bro, this is Luis Perez. This is the GOAT of spring football. This is the best quarterback in
I
spring
I
football
thought I
history.
thought it's not possible, Josh.
It's
I
not, dude. Like you're like
thought
you're
it's not
trying to
possible.
you're like trying to say someone else should
Man.
be Michael Jordan, right? I I mean, I'm just saying, Luis Perez, XFL
Yeah.
champion, all-time leading passer in the UFL, 884 attempts, 68.1 completion percentage, 6,360 yards and 45 touchdowns. He is the GOAT of spring football. He is the best quarterback in spring football, and he's played for like literally, I think every league that's
Yeah.
existed in the last 10 years, right? But Luis Perez, great quarterback. What are you disappointed his completion percentage is not like 98%, or like what's the deal with him?
I got a lot of good things to say about him. I mean, his stats are good. Uh, Good ball control. I mean, good, excellent completion percentage. Low in the stats as far as interceptions go. I guess the only knock on him is he's more of a stationary, not as great on the run as some of the other quarterbacks, but really overall great quarterback. What can I say?
Great quarterback. Hey, are you since we're in the Arlington, Dallas, Fort Worth area? We got Perez pulled up here. What are your thoughts on Troy Aikman? Pretty good quarterback.
That was a different era of football, but yes, great quarterback. Different game.
Completion percentage 61.1% for his whole
Different
career.
game.
All right. All right, moving along. Our next quarterback, the Showboats. You can see we got Quentin Dormady here, who has been signed by Memphis. This is one where we really don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be, but Quentin Dormady was very close to being the Brahma starting quarterback. In fact, started a bunch of games for Brahmas when Chase Garbers went out. Uh,
Yeah.
he's a local guy down here from the San Antonio area out in Bernie. He's got 64% completion percentage and 389 attempts, 2,749 yards, and 16 touchdowns. You can see he played for the XFL and then into the UFL with the Brahmas. I had high hopes for Quentin Dormady when he got signed by the Brahmas. I really, really did. And
Yeah.
it was a close battle in training camp between him and Garbers on who got the start. And I really do think it came down Garbers' mobility is what gave him that little edge to start over Dormady. But Dormady had some big games for us and won some games down here. So it's just, you know, he's a good quarterback. I think he's the best that Memphis has on the roster as of now. But we'll see what happens. What do you think about old Dormady?
I He in 2023 is a little bit better of a passer, but worse with ball handling. 24, not as great. His stats went down a little bit. Not as great of a pure passer, but did better with ball control in a lot of instances. It did go up a little bit on interceptions. So there's some things, of course, he'll need to work on, but he's got a good completion percentage. So we'll see what he does in Memphis, what he has around him to work with him and complement him. We talked about it with when we did the episode on coaches. Memphis is kind of a complete unknown, and so really what they put around him, the offensive system that they play in, and the pieces to complement that system will really tell how big of a success he'll be there in Memphis. But I think he definitely has the tools and ability to run a good offense there.
Yeah. I think he's going to do just fine over there. Just fine. Troy Williams is the other quarterback that might be getting the start out there. He's a little bit more mobile than Dormady, so who knows, right? Maybe that'll be the
Yeah.
deciding factor, right? But going on to quarterback number 7, We got the Panthers projected starting quarterback EJ Perry. The Panthers got like 4 different quarterbacks on the roster right now, and I think any of them, if they have a good camp, might be the starter. You know, they got Etling still up there. Um,
Yeah.
Bryce Perkins, I believe, is there on the roster right now. So, but EJ Perry seems to be the one who Coach Nolan was the most comfortable with. And so we kind of penciled him in as our starting quarterback. 60%, 60.3% completion percentage, 1,154 yards, 4 touchdowns on 151 attempts. You can see it's a low number of attempts, low number of touchdowns, dealing with some injuries off and on. But you know, he was a 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year there at Brown and passed for over 6,000 yards in college. So he's definitely got the arm, and he's definitely smart. You know, he's got that Ivy League education. So what do you think about OEJ Perry?
Well, we'll see if he starts again. He was very competitive last year. I mean, he helped that team really compete even into the playoffs against Stallions. Um, he he was limited in a lot of what he did, and so he was in a very controlled offense. But maybe that's what helped him with some of his stats. So once again, we'll see. You mentioned that they got 4 quarterbacks. I believe they're the only team that has that many quarterbacks on their roster. So maybe they view it as a very competitive camp as far as who's going to start with them. But I agree with you in thinking that he'll start that offense.
Yeah, he's definitely got a good shot to be there. And I'm gonna let everybody know right now. This is kind of a live show, so I am doing a little bit of work on the back end. So if I'm looking around at stuff, I'm just grabbing some graphics and things and trying to clean stuff up. But last but not least, we got the Roughnecks projected starting quarterback Jalen McClendon. Look, if any team needs to bring in another quarterback, and I'm not saying that McClendon couldn't do it in a perfect scenario, but obviously, of the 8 quarterbacks we've gone over, you know, I mean, 58% completion percentage, 136 attempts, 98 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Definitely need some help, right? Definitely need some help there. Uh, with the Houston definitely needs as much help as they can get. What do you think, producer?
There's a lot of struggles there. Um, I would be very concerned if I'm a Roughnecks fan about what that offense is going to look like. Hopefully, if you're a Houston fan, hopefully he can do well. But I'll say he had one season where he's really good with his legs, 2023. But that was one season that he kind of excelled. Another positive I would point out: low interceptions. So he seems to be decent, at least as far as not turning it over in regards to interceptions. So we'll see what Houston has, but I don't feel very positive about that offense right now.
I don't think many people do, producer. I don't think many people do. All right, so you guys might have seen this little graphic pop up. So I'm gonna forgive me. I'm gonna pop up a graphic and have to resize it. It's my bad. I need to get this down right here. Sorry about that, everybody. But here is our final picks and prediction as our ranking for the quarterbacks. I meant to upload that earlier and I got sidetracked by booze. It was booze in the cup. I'm gonna blame booze.
Right there with you.
But
There
hey,
you go.
we're gonna go. All right, so here's my ranking. I went Luis Perez, go to spring football. I went Kellen Mond number 2, got the most upside. I think the Brahmas offensive style basically gets him to number 2, and his accuracy that he displayed his last year at Texas A&M, no doubt. I got Alex Magoo at 3, league MVP and champion with the Stallions, and I think he's coming into an offensive system he's very familiar with, and I don't think he's going to miss a beat. I went to Amu 4 just because I've seen the potential he has. And I think he's on a redemption tour. I think he's really, really going to want to have a good year. And I think he's not going to struggle like he did last year. I think Max Dugan at number 5 with St. Louis. He's got a ton of weapons at wide receiver up there. And I think that's what set him apart from some of the other quarterbacks. Plus, great college career. No stranger to pressure in big games, and he plays in a dome. I think that factors in a little bit too. EJ Perry up at Michigan. He's at 6. I just want to see a little bit more reps for him, and before I really get down to where I think he is in the league and stuff. I got Dormady at 7 only because we had Dormady down here in San Antonio, and he needs a great old line to be a great quarterback. Can he do it? 100%. Does Memphis have a great old line? Absolutely not. And depending on what improvements they make there compared to what they played for last year, is really going to play in on where the Dormady has a good year. And then Jalen McClendon going worst team in the league. Uh, Jalen just doesn't have as much reps as some of the other guys. And I don't know what help they're going to have up there with their running game this year and all that stuff. So I got McClendon number 8. And that's pretty much where my rankings are there. What you got, producer?
On some of those we agree on. I'll just say until the Stallions prove me otherwise, I'm gonna have to put Alex number 1 there. Until I see something that says that they don't belong number 1. With Kellen Mond, even though this is going to be his first year coming in, I'm expecting greatness from him, and I think that he'll give it to the Brahmas. So I'm going to put him up there.
You're putting we talk so much about completion percentage, and you got Mon at number 2, and all those guys below him got such a better completion percentage than him.
People grow. We'll see what he gives us. This is just my opinion. What I say about opinions. What I say about opinions. So okay,
everyone's got one, and they all stink.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I think he can be the number 2 quarterback in the league. Hey, you agree with me? You put him in number 2 also.
I wasn't knocking his completion percentage, bro. I seen this guy play live every college game of his career. I know what kind of man this guy is. Okay.
With Luis Perez, I think he'll be once again one of the top quarterbacks in the league. I just think that there's probably 2 quarterbacks at the end ahead of him. EJ Perry. Let's see what the Panthers do.
How is he number 4, dude?
They went. They competed against the Stallions last year.
Etling played.
I'm not saying this is beginning of the year projection. I'm not saying he'll end the year there, but it's the beginning of the year projection. Jordan Tamu, I'm really concerned about their running offense. Really concerned about that and how that affects him. Otherwise, I think he may even be quite a bit higher. Max, let's see how he does against UFL defenses before we go crazy on him. But the potential's definitely there. Bottom 2, Quentin Dormady and Jalen there. I agree with you on those guys. A lot of Quentin's success will ride on what kind of line he has in front of him. And I just currently have no hope for Houston. So that's my list.
Yeah, the only one I really have struggled with is EJ Perry at number 4. I just feel like you didn't do much research on that one. You know, do you? Yeah, do you have?
Maybe I'm completely wrong.
No, but do you?
But you know what? I put him there, so I'm gonna own it. But I could be wrong. Very wrong on him.
Could you give me one stat other than Michigan made the playoff?
Oh man,
come on!
You're gonna put me on the
yeah,
spot
I'm gonna put
here.
you on the spot, man, because putting Perry over to Amu and Dugan to me is
let's see
highly.
Here. Let's see. Let me see if I can come up with some crap real quick.
Don't give us no dead air. Don't give us no dead air. Come on.
Not great on completion percentage, low pass attempts, very controlled offense. Man, low interceptions. I mean, I'm going to go back to that.
That's it. You're going to say low interception.
There's not a lot to go on. I mean, they're in a dome controlled environment. If they're able to prevent turnovers, and he's a big reason of ball control, and I mean, I think that offense can do good. They're going to have a good defense. So, all they got to do hang on to that ball, prevent turnovers, and he may be right back where he was last year, where they ended last year. So that's my reason.
All
There you
right.
go.
Well, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a hard time, a
It's
little bit
all
of that,
good.
little bit of that banter back and forth. Let's see if the
All good.
fans, let's see if the fans like it. With that, folks, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Coming to you from the cow pasture, from the horse pen, on behalf of United Football Media. Let's end it the way we always end it, everybody, with a nice horns forward. Let's go, Brahmas, baby.